Hey, it's me. It's a series finale. Yippee! I don't know what to say. Thank you for watching these videos. I really didn't expect this. Well, I haven't checked today, so maybe it did bad. I don't know. Anyways, nonetheless, thank you for watching this series. I'm obviously going to be continuing making other videos. I meant about anything. So if you have any recommendations of what you want to see, just say it. I don't know what to say. Now, I got a good list today. I'm actually excited to talk about this. I got classics. I got the classic Batman list. I might as well go down. For number 1, I got Tim Burton Batman released in 1989. For second, I got Batman the Animated Series released in 1992. And lastly, probably one of my favorite ones, I got Batman the Arkham Series. I don't know, the Arkham video games from 2009. Okay, I don't know if y'all can hear that, but there's a lot of noise, and that's because I'm watching the animated series, Batman. I think I'm like on episode 15. Oh my goodness, hold up. Okay, I don't know if y'all could hear that, but that was loud, at least for me. Oh my goodness, allergies. Yeah. I might as well get started because it is going to be a long video. I am going to do something different for this one. I'm not going to explain the story because we'd be here all day, and I don't think I can't explain like the whole story for a TV show and a video game series in one video. It's like practically impossible for me to do that. So I'm just gonna talk about how Batman's impacted the world. Obviously, I'm talking about the Batmans because that's simple to do. Let's get started. So, Tim Burton Batman, 1989. Tim Burton Batman is probably one of my favorite Batmans. I wouldn't say my top number 1, but he's definitely in top 3. I'll be honest, all the Batmans I'm talking about are in my top 3. So, yeah. Tim Burton Batman. Okay, let me talk about Batman itself first. Okay, so Tim Burton Batman is different from most Batman. He kills. That's a simple way to say it. He kills villains. I don't know what else to say about him, because if you know anything about Tim Burton Batman, then you will know that it isn't focused on Batman. It's more focused on the villains. For example, the first ever Tim Burton Batman was more focused on Joker than it was Batman. In Batman Returns, it was way more focused on the Penguin and some random people. Mostly the Penguin instead of Batman. So it's really hard for me to talk about Batman when he's not really a central figure. He kills people. He's crazy. Bruce Wayne's maybe crazy, maybe he's not. I don't know. I'm not going to be talking about Batman Forever, all that, because technically they're not the same Batman, but they are. I don't know, but to make it more easier on me, I'm just going to talk about Batman Returns, Batman, the first one. Other than that, it's not really different. If you love the gothic aesthetic of Tim Burton, and watch Tim Burton's Batman. So the Tim Burton's impact. It's okay. So this was the first time a Batman had killed on the big screen, actually killed, and not some weird propaganda film. Yes, Batman was filmed in a propaganda film. It was a horrible film. Very horrible. Anyways, a lot of people were not happy with that, especially comic book fans. Most obviously because the only good Batman the only good Batman was a Batman that kills, and Batman doesn't do that. We all know that. That's like his main thing. So, and the thing about like Tim Burton, he makes everything edgy. I like that. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it became so edgy to the point where they just didn't like contact him for Batman Forever. It went from, alright, so Batman Returns was very dark and depressing. Like Penguin big guy's nose off, and there was a lot of seductive scenes with Catwoman, and kids were gonna come, and Burger King, they didn't want to sell toys. No one wanted to sell toys of Batman ever since the first movie, and this movie really stapled that. So anyways, they hired a new director to film Batman Returns. It's also before I go on number 2, Tim Burton Batman may have inspired Batman Arkham on Serious House on Serious Earth, which is self-inspired. The Arkham series, which technically means, without Tim Burton Batman, we may have never gotten the Arkham series. That I'm just making a guess. I do not take that with a huge grain of salt. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Yeah. Now, probably the most culturally impactful one of all, the animated series from 1992 was probably one of the most popular, and still is, best forms of Batman media ever. Mostly because of its it introduces a lot of things to the Batman mythos, the Batman comics even. For example, Harley Quinn made her first appearance in the Batman. Okay, before I even get on like everything else, Batman in this series is the classical Batman. Nothing too deep, nothing too comical either. He's a little mix of like in between, right? Playboy billionaire, still like nice guy, Bruce Wayne, and then we got dark but heroic Batman. And alright, so now let's get to the culturally impact part. Like I was saying, Harley Quinn. This was the first appearance of Harley Quinn, and correct me if I'm wrong, this was the first time ever like we've gotten like sympathetic towards the villains, because the villains were one-dimensional. I'm evil, I'm gonna rob a bank, or I'm evil, I'm gonna do some evil crap because I'm evil. The Batman animated series changed his perspective for most of the characters, with the exception of like Scarecrow, you could say, maybe the Mad Hatter, sorta, and Joker for obvious reasons. But for every character, it gave him a sympathetic story, and give one of the most popular stories towards a not really obscure Batman villain, but not like a popular one. Maybe. Well, yeah, he's pretty popular. Mr. Freeze. I don't know why I said he wasn't popular, but Mr. Freeze didn't have a motivation. He was just like, oh, I'm evil, I freeze stuff, oh, ice cream, oh, I'm Iceman, ooh. But in the animated show, it's just, they made him depressed. That's like the best way to say it. His wife is like in critical condition. He's trying to save her. They can't. They just made him depressed. And it did good too. It gave Clayface a motivation. It gave Ivy. Ivy was sort of still like broken. And okay, I love like this one episode. I forgot what episode it was, but it was the first introduction of Scarecrow, and it gave one of the best Batman lines ever. I am vengeance. You already know I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. That still hits hard to say it. At least for me, it does. I like hearing it. Speaking of which, this introduced probably one of the more famous like interpretation, like actor-wise for Batman. Kevin Conroy for Batman. Mark Hamill for Joker. I forgot the actor for Harley Quinn, but she was pretty popular, right? And like a lot of what we think of Batman nowadays is thanks to thanks to the animated series, right? And we get to see a more sadder side of Batman a lot of times in this like series. Some episodes full blown like it gets depressing sometimes. Like we get Batman just like being depressed and all this. It's like it could get some depressing sometimes. And I think for me, one of the best things about this show was the Two-Face like two-part series. I like how what they did with like Two-Face, and they gave him DID before he was, Two-Face, before the acid throw. And I like that because for most Batman films and comics, anything really, they always say like, oh, Harvey Dent had a dark side, but it was like a dark side. It was something, anger issues practically. But for this, it's practically saying like, yeah, he had DID, but he had it under control. I love that because a lot of people, when they think of like not really a lot, but some people, when they think of like mental illness, they see it as like a bad thing. Like if you're bipolar, you're a murderer, you're all this, right? If you have schizophrenia, you're the murderer, you're not the victim. And it does, and surprisingly, the animated series out of all of them, like kids cartoon, practically said, yeah, no, these are victims. These people could be successful, and like these guys could be lawyers, right? But like Joker said, it only takes one bad day for a man to go mad, and unfortunately, Two-Face was one of them. Oh man, if I could, I would talk about the animated series, like animated series, a lot of time. I would make this whole like account based on that. Like I would talk about every episode, like this and that. But that would be I'm nervous. Sorry. That would get pretty boring very fast. Yeah. Okay, so I'm excited to talk about this one, the Arkham series. Now, I already said like multiple times, it's the Arkham games. I'm just going to call them Arkham games because it makes it way more easier. The Arkham games were based on the Arkham books, which may have been inspired by Tim Burton. Do not quote me on that. Yeah. It, again, made a lot of people in the gaming community mostly like love Batman, especially me. I never got to play like the Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. I barely got to play them like last year, and yeah, these were fun. It was fun playing them. Yeah, I did a lot for like obscure characters too, like Hush. Hush was fairly, I would say, popular. I don't know if he was like a comic character. Do not quote me on that. But he wasn't really that popular until like the Arkham games made him popular, sort of. Right? We got character bios for like even like characters like Killer Moth. Right? No one when you say like Batman villains, you think of Joker, Bane, Doctor Strange. Oh yeah, like they made characters like not really popular, like villains, full blown villains. Firefly, Doctor Strange, Ra's al Ghul, maybe. Ra's al Ghul was fairly popular, but he wasn't in the top 5. But I feel like the game made him like fairly popular, including like the Dark Knight series too, many other stuff. But yeah, Batman, again, it's sort of like the animated series. It's just we got Playboy and we got the Batman, but we're mostly focused on like Batman throughout these games. There is a lot I want to talk about. made characters like, I think for this series mostly, it was way more focused on Batman and his relationship with Joker. If you love like that, whatever you call that, then I recommend this series. It also did justice for, in my opinion, one of the more underrated villains, Scarecrow. Like in the first game, he was I'm a comical villain, and I'm a dumb fear gas in the ocean. I don't know how that works, but hey. The last, like canonically, the last one in the series, we're not counting Suicide Squad. He can be depressed, like full blown like poetry. Like I don't know how to describe it. He is depressed. Like his whole face is torn off. He had to like stitch his face with like actual like hay and stuff. It's wacky, right? And this is I recommend the Arkham series if you're a fan of like Tim Burton too, because it does have that gothic aesthetic and it's way edgier. It doesn't like go full blown like edgy. It doesn't like show kids dying. It does imply though, like there's like a side story. It's like a text though. It's like talking about how Joker like killed a bunch of kids and it's like stitched them up. It gets dark. This series gets dark really fast, and I do recommend it if you love like the animated series or Batman in general, because this game does make you feel like Batman. It gives you a power trip, and I love that. It made Batman like really popular. I would say he was popular, but I feel like the Arkham games, the animated series, and then Tim Burton really skyrocketed the popularity of Batman and made him who he is today, I would say. Of course, there's like stories like Under the Red Hood, Night Cries, The Asylum book, and many others which are probably like very popular when it comes to Batman. But I don't know. Something about these three, just I don't know. Yeah, that's all I have to say about the that's all I have to say about like Arkham, Batman, Tim Burton, all those guys. Thank you for watching this. If you are, I haven't checked my recent video from 2 days ago, so maybe it did well. I don't know. I still gotta check. I'll check like all the views for my videos to see how the series goes and if I should continue like making videos. I mean, I'm still gonna, but like, you know, maybe have like a little more motivation to. Yeah, if you want to see like specific content, like if you want me to talk about Spider-Man, I'll probably do it. If you want me to talk about Superman, all those stuff, I'll probably do it. You just comment, I guess, or text me or whatever. But yeah, thank you for listening. And if I don't see you tomorrow, I wish you, well, number one, I do wish you a good day, and I wish you a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and a good night. And then I'll see you when I see you. Have fun. Bye.